Greetings, everyone. Brad here with Mild Mannered EDC. Today, I thought we'd do something slightly different on the channel. I know other channels have done these, but sort of a reflection video or a video about something that I've been thinking about a little bit. And, I titled it Musing, Mild Mannered Musing. And, the particular title of this is Why Do We Watch Knife YouTube? And really, this is, I've been thinking about this for a while, and it just seemed like a fun, something a little different to do other than, just reviewing knives and gear. And I got to diversify a little bit with more of my gear. I've been really heavy on knives lately, so I apologize to subscribers who are looking for a little more diversity there. I'll work on that. It's on my list. But anyways, this really stemmed from a question. Oh, and by the way, I've got some knives out here because I think that's required. If you do one of these sort of thought-based videos on YouTube, you've got to have knives that you fondle and play with while you talk. So, so you'll see me doing that. But no, really, I think this really came about because I got a comment on a video that I made. It was one of my earliest videos, and the comment said something, to paraphrase, along the lines of, less chatter, more specs, quit talking so much and just give us the nitty gritty. And, okay, that was fair. It made me laugh. It wasn't, I don't think, meant to be funny. Spider Kookaburra, by the way. But it definitely, it gave me a chuckle, and it gave me a chuckle only because I know I have a tendency for verbosity and, whatever. But it got me sort of thinking, why are you tuning in? Why are you tuning into a knife video? Because I can easily print off a spec sheet from Blade HQ, put it down on the table, draw a circle around it, and say, "There's your knife." Or I can take the Kunwu Orion, hold it up to the screen, and say, "This is the Kunwu Orion, featuring titanium scales, an S35 VN blade, some writing, and a pocket clip. Also, a flipper frame lock." And then be done. I can do that, but that's. I don't suspect that's what you're looking for when you tune into a knife video, or when you're following a channel. I think it's actually three things, and these three things are based on things that I sort of, in my own reflections on this, that I found that this is why I was tuning in. And the first, and to use the Kunwu, Orion example, the first is information, but it's different than just the specs, right? It's different. I can go online and look at the specs and go, okay, I like the specs of all this. There's a lot of things about this knife that I think I would like. It weighs such and such, and it's got this size of a blade, and it rides on ball bearings, et cetera, et cetera. But what you're getting in a YouTube video that you don't get from just a piece of paper or looking up something online is the context, right? You don't get that context. You also don't get sort of the 3D, perspective that you can get when someone's, wandering around with a knife on YouTube and letting you take a peek at it. And even just like we've got out here on the table, right? Seeing size comparisons, we all do spec checks and size comparisons in our videos in some form or another. If you're a knife reviewer, and again, I think it's to provide that context for the person coming to look, and to provide that information that I think many of us want to sort of satisfy our sort of any remaining questions we might have before we make a purchase or something like that. And a lot of these knives are very expensive. And so, we want to do our research and do our thinking. Booze Blade Mini Smoke, by the way. There we go. One of my favorites. And so, yeah, it's that information / context component that I think a lot of folks tune in for, whether it's my channel or more likely someone else's channel, when they're looking for information and stuff like that. So, and that's certainly it's certainly what I do as well. So it's that information and context. And then the second piece, at least for me, the second reason of the top three reasons I sort of watch knife YouTube videos is for entertainment, right? Let's just be real. We all follow various channels. We all find ourselves, I asked something on Instagram the other day about, what's the most obscure thing that you watch on YouTube? And there were some funny responses to that. And part of the reason I asked that because I was curious, and I had been thinking about this video as well. But I was curious because we all find ourselves in the rabbit holes of YouTube. I mean, I have found myself at whatever late night watching some weird 80s video on a yodeler. By the way, Franz Lang, king of yodelers. Yeah, don't mess with that guy. He knows what he's doing, and I will take issue with any person who challenges that he is not the king of yodelers. But anyways, I mean, but that's the point, right? We all kind of go down these weird rabbit holes, and that's the fun, right? It's a distraction. We get to escape, and heaven knows, with everything going on out there in the world today, a little distraction, a little entertainment, especially if it's in our own time, just quietly, or watching our phone or on our computer or whatever, that's not a bad thing, really. It's not. We all need it. It's part of the human condition to need that ability to sort of just decompress. It was the Kaiser Mini Baglighter, by the way. Yep. So that's sort of the second piece, is the entertainment. And we watch different channels because everybody's a little different, right? I mean, we all have different styles, and whether it's, I mean, there's a million channels out there, right? Cedric and Ada, or Neve's Knives, or It's a Knife Style, or Slicey Dicey, or Nick Shabazz, or Advanced Knife Bro, or Big Red EDC, or I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And they're all great channels, and they all bring something different and something a different level of entertainment, right? They're almost all of us providing the specs at some level, and the details of what the knife is, but they're also providing some entertainment or some other component that we're looking for, whether we just like that particular reviewer's personality, or we share their opinions on a lot of things, or whatever it might be. So anyways, there's that entertainment component, which I think is important, and certainly fun for me, right, to see that part of it. But there's this third piece, and I think it's almost the most important piece, personally. And it's certainly, I think, the most important piece for me when I'm engaging in these other things is, well, though the entertainment's up there, because I like to laugh, but it's being able to connect with the community. And I think if we're honest with ourselves, we have to recognize that, I was talking to a buddy last night about this. Our community isn't as big as we think it is, right? I mean, it's not to say that there aren't lots of us. There are. But in the grand scheme of communities, I don't know that we're actually that big a community. And that's not a bad thing at all. I'm not saying we need to be. I'm just saying the knife community is its own wonderful, wacky, weird little group of people who come together. And frankly, one of the things that's most beautiful to me about it is that the people that come into the knife community are from all kinds. I mean, they all walks of life. And we all are able to sort of let all these other things fall away and just enjoy this passion that we have for these interesting tools and share them with each other, right? And again, I don't know about you, but I don't have neighbor or close friends necessarily, or other folks that I interact with on a daily basis who share this passion with me. I just don't. I don't have family members, really. I mean, I don't have a lot of people that I'm able to share my knife hobby with, at least in a way of sort of, hobbyist to hobbyist. And maybe you do. And if you do in your life, that's great. That's awesome. That's fantastic. But I think for many of us, we find it in the community and in engaging in, whether it's Instagram or YouTube videos or whatever. And that's how we, because not all of us are going to Blade Show, and not all of us are, going to whatever trade show or meetup that might be out there. And so this is the way we connect with each other. And I don't think that's a bad thing. In fact, I think it's a really good thing. But I do think that's a big component of this. It's you don't just see somebody on the street and go, "Hey, you got a knife in your pocket? Let me check it out." I mean, that's the other thing. Half the time we spend our times trying to, get whatever deep carry pocket clip we can find so that we can hide the knife that's in our pocket, because that's important to us for whatever social reason, or legal reason for that matter. And so, by the way, Spidey Rat, made for me by BJ over at Hilltop Knives and Gear. Go check him out. Very cool. Love this thing. yeah. Paid for by my good buddy JB over at Big Red EDC. And there'll be a review coming on this, because I love this thing. But yeah, so I mean, I'm curious if you agree with that, particularly about the community piece. I mean, I think, the information, the context, that seems pretty obvious. I think the entertainment piece is there, for sure. But it's the connecting with the community piece that I think is key to sort of, at least why I watch Knife YouTube more than anything else. And I'm curious what, look at me fail that. See, that's funny. I failed it, and that's funny. Look at, I failed it twice. That's even more funny. I'm not even going to try it a third time. There we go. But see, that's funny to knife people. That's not funny to anybody else. I mean, my wife or kids or somebody else would look at me and like, what are you doing, you weirdo? But I know you guys get that joke, and that's funny. It's funny to watch somebody come on, a knife person come on YouTube and fail one of their favorite knives. Spyderco Mannix, by the way, sprint run. That may make you mad, but this is in Rex 45 steel. But no, I mean, so anyways, I just wanted to share that a little bit with you all today. I mean, I think it's something I've been thinking about. There are more, why we come to these channels, why we subscribe to what's out there, why we come, tune in and watch. I think it is to connect. I really do. I think that's the heart of the matter. I think that's where the joy is, and it certainly is for me. I really, really do appreciate and enjoy so many of you, whether you're a subscriber or not, whether you're a follower on Instagram or not, or whatever. It's just it's fun. It's fun to engage with you all. You're great people, and I love sharing this hobby with you. And so anyways, and that's a big part of why I started my channel. So anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this musing. I'll try to respect that initial comment and not let this run on forever and ever. But those are sort of the three things that I think we come to Knife YouTube videos for. Let me know down in the comments, please. I really do want to know if I'm off the mark. What are you coming for? What are you not coming for? What do you like? What do you not like? And let's share. Let's have a little conversation about it. I'd really enjoy that. So thank you for watching this particular pseudo knife YouTube video, and thank you for all the support as I've been doing my channel, and for supporting all those who are putting it out there in the community. It's not always the easiest thing to get behind a camera and put your hands on put your hands on video and fumble around with sharp, pointy things. So anyways, I really have appreciated it. It means a lot to me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Stay safe out there. Be mild-mannered to one another, and all the best.